Okay, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Will Shawan, the Supplement Dumbass, and you guys know why we started this channel. And today we have a very, very special guest. You guys already know that in this channel we share a lot of information when it comes to supplements and branding. So you put the two together and you can launch your own supplement brand. Now, I've been in this space for just over a year now, and I've made tons and tons of mistakes, which is mainly the reason why I created this channel, because I know there's people out there struggling with their branding. I know there's people out there that do not understand the supplement industry as a whole. I wish I could tell you it's easy, but it's not. So if this is something that you like, if this is content that you're interested in, please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we will continue to bring amazing guests to every once in a while, so you guys can see the diversity. And it's not just me into supplements. The whole entire world is changing to that. A $278 billion industry by 2025. These are big, big numbers, guys. And there isn't enough people in the world right now that's giving out supplements. So there's going to be a high demand, and the supply is still short. So get on it before it's too late. All right, so our buddy right here, Jordan. Now, I met Jordan actually on Clubhouse.
Yep.
Clubhouse is an awesome app, by the way, too.
Mm-hmm.
We met on Clubhouse and we kicked off right away. Obviously, I'm a little biased, so I connect with people mostly that are into supplements. And my man right here has actually is launching a supplement brand that we will be talking about as well. In the beginning, we'll start talking about you as a person. Let's get the audience to know you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your backstory?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's great to see you again. So I'm actually half Filipino and half, I guess, Caucasian. And my dad actually immigrated from the Philippines, or I would say in the, I think, mid 1980s. So he came to Edmonton. So I'm born and raised Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and been here. Yeah, my whole life. I did a small stint out in Vancouver for a while, which I love, one of my favorite cities. But born and raised in Edmonton, grew up here, and really grew up playing basketball. Grew up in that whole, my dad's a bodybuilder. He's been bodybuilding ever since I can remember. And so grew up in that really fitness focused environment, a really athletic environment. As Filipinos, we all pretty much play basketball or like basketball.
Yeah.
So I kind of grew up around that environment as well. And throughout my teenage years, played pretty high level, played provincially. And obviously the dream was to make it professionally, but I am short. So wasn't really a true dream of mine, so to speak. It was more of like just that ideal
Sure.
to reach. And then I got injured, broke my leg in 2 places in my last year playing, and so that kind of ended my college or university aspirations for playing basketball anyway.
Wow.
But
How like did you get injured while you were playing?
So I was just during practice one day. I started it started aching a little bit, and I thought I just kind of tweaked my ankle a bit. Played on it for a couple of weeks, and it got to a point where we were in a tournament here in Alberta, and I couldn't even shoot a free throw without standing on one leg. So my coach pulled me off the floor and said, "You're not playing until you get it X-rayed." And what ended up happening is he said I had only fractured it in my ankle, but because I kept playing on it, I was compensating. So I fractured it a little bit higher up. And so there was 2 fractures, just stress fractures, but it kind of took me out for a few weeks. And by that time, I kind of was near the end of the season anyway.
Yeah.
But it was a blessing in disguise, because around that time I wasn't really focused. I was getting into some trouble outside of school, and just doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I ended up finding out that my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. And
Wow.
so
And
that
how
kind of
old were you?
changed things. Yeah, I was 16 years old when I found out.
Oh,
So it
wow. You
was
had the kid early, eh?
I
That
did,
must
yeah.
have been tough.
Yeah, it was interesting, because
Yeah.
it forced me to put life into perspective. And obviously being a kid, not really being ready to be a father, it wasn't an overnight change, but it kind of led me to put life into perspective. And you would think that having a kid or being in that position would change you, but it kind of forced me into a deeper hole, and I kind of went into a dark place, and tried to get chasing quick money and doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And so I kind of went through a dark period in that initial part of I guess transitioning out of high school
Yeah.
and going into my adult years.
I want to just mention the way, like, this is how you know somebody is always going to be hungry for more. You can
Hmm.
tell you have that personality, man, because it started with you playing basketball, and even though you were injured, you still got up and you
Yeah.
still tried to go for that game. that's
Yeah.
that's hunger, man. that's
Yeah.
that's what everybody looks for. Not everybody has this, but it
Hmm.
seems like you very much have it.
Yeah.
And then
100%.
after that, yeah, man, and I love it, dude. This is how people reach to places where they want to go. They get up and just go at it again. And I know, having a kid at a young age, I had my kid, it wasn't that young, I wasn't
Hmm.
16 obviously, but it's still 19 is still pretty early to have a
Oh,
kid. And
100%.
it's pretty tough, man. And I
Yeah.
think I think what you're talking about is because it pushes you towards adulthood so fast that
Yeah.
you make not good decisions because you are not an adult yet. So your
Yeah.
decisions are still kind of immature,
Hmm.
which in my case, it ended up taking me into a dark path too.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you mean? Like, you mentioned, like, it made you make bad decisions. What kind of decisions were they? If you don't mind sharing, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So around that time, so my family always had businesses growing up, and I was always in that entrepreneurial mindset. But with that, like you said, that almost like that ambition, that hunger for more, you try and chase quick money. So got involved in things I shouldn't have got involved in.
Oh, I see.
Fell into the path of actually abusing drugs
Oh,
and getting addicted for a short period in my life, but a meaningful period in my life. And it brought me to a dark place, and in almost like a depression, and really just this hole in my life while I was trying to be a father to my daughter. And it was almost like life was happening so fast. It was an escape route.
yeah.
And yeah, it's exactly what you said, right? When you have a kid at a young age, and you don't have a support system around you. I didn't have any good role models. My parents were divorced when I was living in Vancouver actually at the time, with some family, and my parents were here in Edmonton, and they got divorced while I was there. So I didn't really have a foundation of what it looked like to have. I guess parents that were really actively involved in raising kids
Yeah.
and all of that aspect of things. So the example wasn't there. I didn't have any role models in my life to guide me and say, hey, you have a kid now. This is what you should be doing. And so I was basically going at it with what I knew best. And what I knew best was what everybody was doing, what I was surrounded with. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it was the drug world. It was quick money. It was all of that. And so luckily, I didn't get into trouble with the law or anything, which thankfully that kind of, I guess, saved my relationship with my daughter, because had that happened, I probably would have lost out on everything. Um, which is it is difficult to be in that position. But around that time, yeah, I got addicted to drugs, started drinking, and basically all this happened within a year and a half, from 17 to, I would say, 19 years old. Within that couple year time frame, it was pretty a dark and fast blip in my life that yeah, it
I
was
got
difficult to get through.
goosebumps, dude. I, like, literally my whole body got goosebumps because I know what you're meaning, man. And guys, like, whoever's watching this, I want you to pay attention to one thing here. The people that have this kind of drive, you will always hear a backstory. There's
Hmm.
always a reason why a guy like Jordan, a guy like me, a guy, other entrepreneurs that push, and it doesn't matter, you will try to break them every day, and it will only make them stronger because
Yeah.
they have that inside of them. They have that planted in their heart from that young age no matter what you throw at them, they're still gonna get up. They're still gonna go and try again. If it doesn't work, they will try another route. And honestly, it kind of gets exhausting for the body, doesn't it, man?
It does. Yeah.
Your mind does not allow your body to relax. So, but
100%.
yeah, but you guys, if you ever meet someone that has this kind of backstory, I trust me, you want to connect with that person, because that person is gonna be somewhere, and you can learn a lot from people like this. Like every day, me sitting here in front of Jordan, he said we're both learning from each other today.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, because you don't get this kind of opportunity in real life. You only get this when you're online, when you're available for public. You gotta, some people are a little bit shy. You know how it is, Jordan.
Yeah.
Some people cannot escape that, right? So
Yeah.
so it's hard for them to go on camera and be comfortable talking.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't even look at the camera. I look at the person in front of me, and we
Yeah.
just go, just like two friends just chatting around. And
Yeah, exactly.
but man, dude, honestly, I did not know this much about your story, so kind of gave me goosebumps. And I did have some questions, but because of what you said, I have other questions. So if you
Yeah,
don't mind,
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go into that too. So you talked a little bit about your drug habit, and I'm super super glad that you did not go in it for a long time, man.
Yeah.
I trust that period of time, it's still a period that you highly uh, use on your daily basis. I
Yeah.
think you can always use that kind of energy and that kind of life to
Yeah.
push you forward, to make you a better person, because that's what it takes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be a good person, you're not going to be a better person to yourself unless you learn from a mistake, or you learn from others.
Mhm.
So in this case, people like did not go through this, but they're watching us, and we went through it. So listening to these kind of stories will help you make better decisions in the future.
Yeah.
Now you know to avoid drugs. Now you know to avoid the basketball court when you have a sprained leg. So so
Yeah.
you can always learn from people talking. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's me, Jordan, or just some random stranger on the street. You'd be surprised what comes out of people's brains. So
100%.
but yeah, man, kid at a young age, man, that's a like it's a tough one, but I think it also gives you a reason and a purpose at a young age,
Yeah.
which is why, like, I think you grew up too fast. Can you say that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I would say that I wouldn't say it was too fast, because I think looking back now, everything that happened in my life, which I'm sure you would feel the same way, I'm grateful for. I wouldn't change it. Obviously, there's things that are unfortunate that happened in my life, and like people close to me either went to prison or are no longer around, and it's like those things you don't want to have happen.
Yeah,
But all the bad things, the drug addiction, having a kid at the young age, became blessings. And like you said, we use them today to
yeah,
help us push forward. We learned the lessons we needed to from those. So I wouldn't change anything that happened to me. So growing up too fast, I look at it almost like um, it was meant to be.
yeah,
Like that, I'm supposed to be that way. And now I can raise my kid. And I have the perspective now where I can raise my kids, because I have two kids now, where I'm raising them to be adults and they can be aware of what life is actually like. And it's not, I don't believe in the concept of growing up too fast, because I
yeah,
think, especially you and I, as much as we work hard and we have entrepreneurial tendencies, we still find the time to enjoy life. This is fun for us, right? Like, so we still get that chance to have fun, to be happy, to be playful in our days. And that's where bringing that childhood back, I think we can always have that childlike tendency. So um I think if you take it too far to the extreme of being too serious or just focused on work, then yes, growing up too fast can be a negative. But if you understand that growing up means everything, not just working hard and becoming responsible, it's also learning how to be happy and being in tune with your emotions, because when you have kids, you have to teach them how to do that. So if you're not that way, how are you going to teach your kids that way? So I don't think it's a negative thing
Yeah.
growing up too fast. I think I learned a lot of lessons that really support now how I parent, how in my marriage, in my day to day, how I interact with people. Obviously, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through.
Sure.
But you know, it did build me to the person I am today. And I think everything does happen for a reason. And
Yes.
so just like today, us connecting, us meeting happenstance online, right? We have a very similar backstory. And so people, the world works. And then, you know, I believe that, you know, we attract what we need in our lives. And so, yeah, it's an interesting thing when people say, "Oh, you must have grown up too soon." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think so. Because I look at people who are in their mid 20s who are just starting life, and I look and I say, I have 5 years that compound, so it's actually more than 5 years because of the work and the effort and the knowledge that you learn compounds over time. So
Yeah.
I have almost a lifetime, I feel, of experience based off of people who spent their early 20s going to school and partying,
A hundred
right?
percent. 100%. Dude, there's no doubt in my mind about that, man. You are so correct. You know what? I think you changed my perspective today on growing up too fast, because
No.
I've always thought I grew up too fast because of everything that happened. But the way that you view it, honestly, it makes a lot more sense. And I think it is more suitable because it does make us the people that we are today. So we're still
Mhm.
growing up, kind of, you know,
Oh,
like we're still
100%. Yeah.
actually growing up. So
Yeah.
that's amazing, man. I love this story, man. So when did things actually start to change for you, though?
Yeah, so around that time I was 19, kind of early 20s. Um things really and it's funny you posted, I think it was today or yesterday, you posted a video and you talked about the 3 success habits.
Yes.
And the last habit was getting around the right people, and it's who you know, and it's really making the right connections. And that's what really shifted and changed for me when I was 19, just getting around the right people, having doors open to me to access people who, like you said, were higher level or entrepreneurial or just had done things or had value systems in life that I had never seen. And so making those friendships and having those relationships and having that support system really helped me to change my perspective in life and push forward to get out of the drug habits. And ultimately I can't say uh I moved forward without my wife, because she was the foundation. Because I met her when my last year of high school. We were 17. I wasn't with my daughter's mother, and we just kind of connected. We had actually known each other since we were 12 years old, but
Oh,
never really. We were just kind of acquaintances,
yeah.
reconnected, and we've been together so ever since. So high school sweethearts, quote unquote.
That's
But
awesome, man.
she was the one who really was that foundation for me, that got me out, pulled me out of that dark place, and set me straight. And so first off was having the right partner in life. For me personally, that's, without her I couldn't have done anything, literally to this day. She keeps
Well,
our life, our home together.
that's
But outside of her, it's the relationships that and the community around me, and having those 2 3 4 key people that you can go to, that those mentors in life, and that support system is crucial. And I think for me, that's the number one thing that I try and tell people. It's always about who you know. And if you can meet somebody who has the life you want, or has the value system that you strive to have, it's like, hold on to that person and do whatever you can, because that's how you learn. That's how you connect. It's all about relationships, right? And
absolutely.
I hear it all the time, people like, I'm self-made, or I do it on my own. And it's like,
No, it's about the
none of us are self-made. None of us do it on our own. We all have relationships.
100.
And so that's kind of what started that shift for me. And then just really realizing what kind of life I wanted, because I was always interested in science and the body and biology, and books were like, school was pretty easy for me,
Yeah.
even though I went through all this kind of crazy stuff when I was a teenager. School never suffer I never struggled in school because I was always book smart. So I was always fascinated with science and English and social studies and all these different subjects. So it came naturally to me, but I just didn't have an application point to it.
Yeah,
It was like I was learning all this stuff without applying anything. It was like, what's the point of learning with no application? And so during my early, I guess, 20s, I just started to try things. I started basically any business I could and threw mud at the wall and see what stuck. And just been on that journey ever since. And recently got into the supplement game, and really opened my eyes to the opportunity, and it mixes my passion for health and fitness and science with an application there, and so it fuels that passion.
that is amazing, bro. So you mentioned a couple of things, and I started writing down. I didn't want to forget, but there's something about like drugs that a lot of people don't realize. Unless you were at some point a drug addict, you would not
Yeah,
understand how why drug addicts push people away.
yeah,
uh, you they will Drug addicts will always push people away, and it has nothing to do with who the other person is.
yeah,
It's mostly about themselves.
yeah,
You kind of feel ashamed. You don't want to show people
100%.
that person because you know deep in your heart that that's not you. When
Yeah,
drugs take over you, that's not you.
no,
Any decision that you make, to me, that decision means nothing because it's not actually you that made that decision. And this is the reason why we keep pushing people, they keep pushing people away, because no matter how close you try to get to a drug addict, he will push you back. And
yeah,
just like Jordan said, the only way you can get yourself out of it is a support system, is to
yeah,
actually allow people into your life. I
yeah,
know it's kind of like it's easier said than it actually done.
100%.
But if you are looking for a way out, that's the only way out.
Yeah,
You accept help and you let people into your life.
yeah,
And as I said, no judgment when you're on drugs. Trust me. And the more people understand drugs these days, a lot of people are actually doing more research on drugs, and they can understand why people are making these decisions. And that will I think ultimately in the next 10 years where they're gonna change the system to, because now we understand so much more about drugs, we
yeah,
understand so much more about people that take drugs, and there's definitely a better way than just to throw them all under a bridge, which is
100%.
which is disgusting, by the way. I
Yeah,
don't support the system that treats homeless people and drug addicts as second class citizens, because they're
yeah.
not. They're just like anybody else.
They have a story, right?
They do. And one day they will be doing something like this, man. I
Yeah,
guarantee you. Every drug addict that actually gets out of that life becomes something big. And it doesn't matter, not for
100%.
people, becomes something big for himself, whether it's him or his family, his daughter. That's all you need to.
Yeah,
You don't have to prove to everybody anything. Prove it to yourself. And all the luck to anybody who's watching this and struggling in their life, you guys. And this is what it's about, like sometimes you look at your own problems and you think it's the whole world is against you, and then you listen to other people's problems, and it makes you realize, and it makes you more humble. It makes you
yeah,
realize that, what I have is not that bad, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So always have your head up, and know and realize that for every down there is an up. So if you're going
yeah,
up and down, this road will never end, and it doesn't
yeah.
matter how rich, how successful you are. You're always going to have the downs, and you're always going to have the up. So the more you understand that, the easier life will be for you. um
100%.
all right, man. I love that. I'm so proud that it did not take you long to realize that you're not walking that path. And I think, just like you said, it has to do a lot with the support around you and the people that you
Mhm.
had around you. So just congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
It's
I
a huge
appreciate that.
achievement, man. I understand how it is, so I know how hard it is to change your life. But you did it, and you are doing it in an amazing way. And now you're launching your own supplement brand. So can we talk a
Yes,
little bit about that? What kind of supplement?
absolutely. Yeah. So I guess I'll go into the backstory of why I even decided to go that route because
Yeah.
I already had, some different things going on and working on projects. And what ended up happening was about 2 or 3 years ago, I got into a major car accident in the winter time. Somebody lost control, and just by happenstance, it just, you know, she collided with my vehicle, and it really it, it made an impact in my life. I was taken to the hospital. It was the first time I'd ever been hospitalized for anything, and it left me with, thank God that I haven't, like, it wasn't like I didn't have any major physical injuries outside of my back and my neck and all that stuff, but I didn't have any broken bones, which was thankfully. But my vehicle was totaled, and I was left with a concussion that I never experienced before. I never, it was actually probably one of the most challenging things I've ever gone through, was having to deal with a concussion, because relearning everything, just simple things like even just having a conversation like this, I wasn't
Oh
able
my
to do
God.
even a year and a half ago. It was, my attention span was bad. The even to this day, the ear
What
ringing.
age? What age were you?
So I'm 29 now, so it was 2019, I believe, or
Wow.
2018. So I must have been 26 or 27 when it
Wow, dude.
happened. I
That's
can't
crazy.
remember the exact year, but it literally took a year and a half to 2 years of my life away, from recovery, physiotherapy 2 to 3 times a week, occupational therapy, just literally relearning how to do math in my head, relearning how to read, and I couldn't read for almost a year just because I couldn't focus on the words, and having to take all these pain pills and these sleep. I couldn't sleep because the headaches and the neck pain and everything like that. I would just wake up constantly. So I was working at the time at a job, and I was constantly taking naps at my job. My lunch break wasn't lunch. It was go into my car, put the seats down and sleep for an hour. And it was like after work, come home, sleep for a little bit, because I was getting so drained mentally, just from having to process all this new information every day. And so I would wish a concussion on nobody. So I feel for all the athletes and anybody who's been in a major accident or head trauma that has gone through concussion. It's one of the worst things you can do, because your brain is your life. It's your thinking mechanism. And if you don't have your mind, you don't have life. You can be physically healthy, but if your mind is gone, it's all for nothing. And so that led me down the path of figuring out, how can I do this naturally, because I started feeling sick from all the pills I was taking, and then the pills stopped working, and so there were stronger pills that would have to come. And I'm not naturally I grew up pretty sick. Like, I have asthma and a lot of allergies when I was growing up, so I was always on medication, in the hospital quite a bit for asthma. And I switched my life to more of a natural path after the drugs. I wanted to heal my body from the inside out and get in control of my life, which I did a lot through supplementation and cleaning up my diet. And I realized that there had to be a better way for my brain to heal. So I started doing research onto different uh, natural remedies, omega 3s, and just giving the brain what it needs, and really resetting my whole life, from my sleep habits to the stress levels, to my brain health, and my daily habits and everything. And which led me down the path of finding out that there's natural things, like there's herbs and adaptogens and different compounds out there that support the brain and support our entire systems. And we know this, but it's just, we don't there's no application to it, and it's not studied, or it's not mainstream, I would say, which is unheard of to me. It's funny, you go to the doctor for something wrong, and the first thing they do is prescribe a pill.
Yep.
It wasn't like when it was surprising to me, because I told my doctor, you know what, I really want to change my diet, so to heal my brain, so I'm going to cut out sugar, I'm going to cut out, this. And he's like, that's awesome, here's a pill. And it's not like, you think that he would have told me to cut out sugar. He would have told me, maybe you want to clean up your diet. How's your sleep habits? How's your environment at home? All that kind of stuff. And it wasn't the first thing that was prescribed, which was surprising to me, that I had to do my own research, that I had to take it into my own hands. And so that led me to experimenting with different brain supplements and nootropics and things like that. And it's funny because there's so many nootropics out there that people take or want to take and then think that it's going to improve their productivity. And for me personally, it wasn't necessarily about improving my productivity. It was just maintaining my brain's health, because short-term memory loss with a concussion is real,
Yeah.
right? And not being able to hold information in your brain. So just being able to do that, get my brain back so I could feel more like me, that's what I wanted to accomplish. And so through that, finding supplements that were able to support the brain, support my mood, and support my sleep is what I really focused in on and developed. And so now the company that I'm launching, it's called Zenu Performance. And what that is the name comes from two parts, Zen and you. And when you
Yes.
combine those, that you get performance. And so it's Zen is that state of mind where you can just really have that focus and really be controlled in your day, and then having that performance as well aspect of things. So initially I was thinking of a more of a sports nutrition company, but now it's really in a health aspect, in a more holistic approach to health. And so we have three core line products, which one is a brain support supplement, just natural herbs that support your brain for long term. A mood support supplement with adaptogens like rhodiola and different things like that, because I'm a huge fan of rhodiola. I'm not sure if you've taken that before, but I just
Yeah.
I live off of it.
Really.
It makes me, the mood.
It's
Yeah, see,
soothing.
so
Yeah.
that's exactly it. Alpha brain is one of the most popular quote unquote nootropics, but really a lot of the compounds that are in there support your brain, support your ability to learn and recall memories.
Yeah.
And so taken long term, a lot of these things can help our brains. It's
Yeah.
just like diet, right? You are what you eat. And so the last supplement that we've developed is a sleep health supplement that will help reset and help your body's natural sleep cycles. And so those are the three core line products I developed. Why? Because it solved my problem. It helped me get back to an equilibrium in my life. And it's not designed just for people who have concussions. It's really designed for anyone who's just looking to get that balance back and support their natural processes in their body.
Dude, I am so excited for your product, man, because what you are creating here is something that it's literally gonna create a better world. If
Yep.
you have a healthier world, especially when it comes to brain health, you have generally a healthier world. And that
100%.
is an amazing mission that you're on, man. I am sorry that you had to go through all of these downs just so you can actually get to this point. But I'm also grateful because I know for a fact you would not be here today with all these ideas, with this determination, with this much drive, if that did not happen. So
Mhm.
it's great on you, bro. I would love to direct people to connect with you. What is the best way to connect with you, man?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to reach out to me on anything we talked about, whether it's with the addiction side of things, whether it's having a kid at a young age, I'm open to talking and connecting. You can connect with me on Instagram is probably the best way, at the Jordan Cantos, which I'm sure you'll plug as well.
I'll put
But
it down.
you can find me there. You can head over to Zenu Performance. That's ZENU performance.com. And join the wait list. We'll be launching fairly shortly. We're just working on the final kinks of the website and different things like that. But I'll definitely send you some supplements once we have them in hand.
Awesome.
And yeah, so the best way to contact me is definitely at on my Instagram.
Awesome, bro. This has been honestly an amazing experience for me too. I've learned a lot from you today, man, and I think I should, I like this is the only brain product that I take. I should be taking care of my brain since it's my most important asset. So
It is, yeah.
yeah, so I am actually very excited to for your brand, and I would love to try it out when it launches. I'm gonna be on the waiting list too. I'm gonna go over right now, actually, put my name down. So that's great, man. I thank you very much, Jordan, for coming here today. Would you, if there's anything that you would like to add to the viewers, if you think that they can get benefit from anything please go ahead and just like he said, if you have questions about any of these kind of supplements, or or just you need somebody to talk to, telling you guys, that's what it's about. It's just be open and accept people to come into your life. Once you do that, just like Jordan said, there's no self-made. You don't make yourself anything. People help you to get to where you want to be. You can't do everything alone, and if you try, it will definitely destroy your body and your mind. So I'm all about the body, he's all about the mind, and we're telling you not to do it. All right. Awesome.
You said it.
It's awesome to have you here, Jordan. Thank you very much for accepting my invite. And I'm excited to actually do more about this with you. Maybe we'll do some episodes on brain health. We'll talk more about that, and we'll bring it onto the channel. All Perfect. Right, guys. Thank you very much for whoever sat here and watched this interview. Jordan, I'm gonna leave his links in the comments. You can connect with him, or you can go put yourself on that waiting list for his product. I have no doubt it's gonna be something that's gonna crush the market. Oh, last question. Sorry, forgot about this. Is this Canadian market or it's US market? Where are you launching? Both?
No, both. Yeah.
All right. He's hooking you both guys up. Yep. All right. Okay. Awesome, man. It was awesome to be here with you, and we'll definitely do this again. Okay, guys, if you like this kind of content, we have a lot more in store. I will continue to try to bring in as many amazing guests as Jordan right here, and give us a like, give us a follow. That's how we can get more people to watch it, because this kind of information can definitely help someone change his life. And I'm not being dramatic. This information can help you change your life. So the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more people can view it. And that's the purpose behind the whole channel. Thank you very much, Jordan. Thank you guys for being here, and look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.
All right.